Hello, everyone. It's me, Andrew. I'm here in my home in lovely Ligonier. William is here
Hello, everybody.
for just a moment
Quick moment.
before he heads off to class. He was trying to show me something, but I couldn't see it.
Oh, for all those who yesterday were watching the Destash and asking about the ammonites, we sold out of them super quick. So we had a few more in the store, and I put them on the Facebook timeline. So you can claim them there if you missed out and want some of these ones.
I also think we have another ammonite tray coaster type thing.
It is somewhere.
It's at the cottage on top of the metal table next to the
We didn't
couch.
show a tray coaster yet.
No, but it's ammonite from Madagascar, and I thought folks would be maybe interested in that. I'm super duper running behind today. You can probably tell I'm a wee bit frazzled. I have this thing where people they call me at like 4:45, and I get what it is they're trying to finish up before the end of the day, but that makes it like
That's when decline.
yeah, but I can't sometimes do that. So so there's a couple of things. I'm okay. So what am I doing? I didn't do the talk. Hello, everyone. Hopefully you all are doing well out there. Let me take a moment to say hello to everyone who's tuning in. I see Michelle is here. Hi, Michelle. Marianne is here. Hi, Marianne. Michelle says, I am out running around, had a doctor's appointment now, heading to my mother-in-law's appointments for her shot. My son is with us too. Well, hello, extended family. Marianne says, oops, went off to finish a round of Word Connect until it was supposed to start. Well, we're here now.
Just made it. Just started.
We just started. Let's see. Norma's watching. Hi, Norma. June's watching. Hey, June. I probably need glasses. I definitely have glasses for driving, but now I'm like, what is that tiny 5-6 point font?
You have to increase your font size.
I know. I'm gonna have to blow it up because I'm all like, I noticed I was like squinting at the on my phone.
Maybe it's just a bad eye day.
Maybe. I think it's the general exhaustion day. Let's see. June's watching. Hey, June. Did I say June? Hey, June already? William said yes.
I think so. I could be wrong.
Susan's here. Hey, Susan. Cheryl's here. Hey, Cheryl. Other Susan's here. Our neighbor. Hey, Susan. Susie. Julie's watching. Hi, Julie. All right. So I just kind of sped up to the bottom because otherwise I don't know what's happening with my life. All right. So if you didn't see on Monday, what did we do on Monday?
What was Monday?
What did we do on Monday? Oh, the glass focal lots.
Yes.
William has invoiced those. Some of them have been started to be packed up and shipped today.
They're at least being sorted, if not packed. And if you had something else, they're being sorted with your check glass lots.
So that is was happening today.
I've been charging shipping on every invoice pretty much. So if you paid multiple and we combine them, if Barb chooses to combine them, you'll get refunded.
There you go.
But you might not if she ships them separately. It just depends on how big they are and the timing. Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll always do our best to treat y'all right. We have been having a couple of issues with shipping. I think, I don't know if this is true or not, but we didn't notice. But I think a bag of our packages got stolen. Because I asked somebody a question. I was like, how did you like blah, blah, blah? And they're like, I never got that. And we did a little bit of sleuthing. And so anything that was missing from that time period, we're going to replace. But it's going to take a little bit of a minute. And I'm not going to say what it is because then it's going to make people like frantic. But I don't know what happened because we packed everything up that day, but all of those packages from that time period are missing. So if you are missing a package, um, we are aware of it now, and we're going to be replacing some of those packages. So just keep that in mind if you're like, hey, I didn't get that thing that I had been waiting for a while. That's probably what's up with that. All right. Y'all.
Andrew's had a rough day.
It's not too bad. It's just there's a lot of
I had a wave of anxiety that hit at the end of my day, and it's like from nowhere.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm like sweating still from it's just been like.
I'm like, go away, William. Let me burn some sage up in here.
Are you good? You have everything?
I think I have you have your class. So.
I know, I'm gonna take Barnaby out for like 2 minutes. So he's talking so much. And then I'm gonna run.
Marion says packages do get lost. I don't think it was the packages getting lost because it was like a group of them that went out. We're supposed to go out. So I don't know if it maybe like the bag got lost, it got pushed under somebody's chair, it got left somewhere, it got hung up on a hook and forgotten somewhere. I don't know, but we're playing reverse Sherlock Holmes and trying to track everything down. So, and it's kind of if those things get missing, it's kind of a shame because some of those things were irreplaceable. But you know, it is what it is at this point. And then Norma, her cup got smashed. I think, yeah, the only thing that I can think of, if the box was not damaged, is that it fell from a really high height and must have hit concrete. Because what I saw in the pictures looked like it had exploded everything. And so we'll send out a replacement cup on that. I got a package the other day, and I had ordered a clamp from someone, and that had punched through the hole in the wall of the. I had punched through the wall of the box and was hanging out, halfway hanging out. And our mail person was like, "Is anything missing from this?" And I was like, no." But yeah, it's just frustrating because prices have gone up, and it seems like some of the quality and services have gone. And it's not our local post office, I don't think, because they're super great about everything. They've been awesome since day one. I used to come in when we would have big sales, and I was like the half Asian Santa Claus with a duffel bag over my shoulder. And this is before stamps.com, so they had to weigh each one out and do that. And they were so patient with us. And Michelle says, "Is it because USPS is on strike?" I don't know if there's any kind of strikes happening right now. I know there was a UPS strike, but they never, or there was talks of a UPS strikes, but I don't think they actually went on strike. Yeah. Suzanne, she says, "I thought UPS averted the strike." Yeah, so the packages that I'm talking about are not UPS, they're USPS. So, anyways. Yeah, Norma said, yes, lots of small shards and dust with about 6 large pieces of mug. That sucks. Anyways, we'll get that out and replaced pretty soon. All right. So on Monday, we had the glass focal. Yesterday, we had the kickoff of the Destash lots, my personal Destash lots. I hope you all like those. I think people did. Um, there's still a lot left, so I don't know what we'll have to do. Maybe we'll come up with an album or something after everything is done. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, we got an opportunity to do a tool buyout from one of our friends. Yesterday I said I wasn't going to say who it was, but she's like, I put yours aside, so don't be afraid to tell people. So her name is Andrea, and she is, if you, as part of NC Black down in North Carolina, they produce hammers, and she's mostly known for micro shell forming. They make their hammers right here in the US. And so she has severe scoliosis, and it's causing her spine to do all kinds of things, like it's starting to collapse and on itself. And so she's going to have to go for surgery. And we talked today, and she said that she has to go. She's trying to push it off as far as she can, but eventually she gets epidurals every couple of months to help her tide her over. And eventually they're not going to be able to do that anymore. So she's been pushing it off as much as she can. And her sister got cancer, and so she delayed her surgery so she could help take care of her sister. So yeah, it's they're such good people, and such amazing talented artists, and artists and craftspeople who help empower other artists to make things, and such good people. And I want to take advantage of their sale, because if we bought everything like onesie twosie, it would be a lot. So yeah, so they're putting together these bundles, and I want to get one of some of the bigger bundles. And so of course this happens when we don't really have any additional cash, because we're all like spread out on everything. So I said, hey, how about we do a D-stash and do a little bit of a fundraiser? And that's what we're doing now. All right. I see a couple more folks have tuned in. Let's see. Harry's watching. Suzanne is watching. Amanda's watching. Let's see who else. There's a couple more people. Teresa's watching. Hey, Teresa. Yeah, so welcome. Some of y'all I haven't seen for a while. All right. So that, if you didn't see yesterday, we did the first 60 lots. Today we're going to do some more. But before we jump into that, I wanted to give you a heads up. So every month for our Patreon, I create a painting, and we have that as one of the rewards. You get a kind of a digital download that you can use for your own particular use. You can't necessarily, like print it off and use it for like a commercial sale. But if you want to put it as your like phone background or computer background, or just keep it, print it out for your own inspiration, that's perfectly fine, and is meant for you to enjoy. But I have these paintings that I've never really shown before. So I thought it might be good to, for one, make some space because they're starting to stack up. And number two, get them out in the world and have people enjoy them. And number three, make some money for some tools, hopefully. These are a little bit more expensive. I know some folks won't be able to take part. And I hate doing that, but we try to have price points for everyone. So even if you are able to get one of the big paintings, I've got some different other options so that you can still play along and show your support, and you can still be included in helping us get those tools. Because not only will it help have tools for the studios, but it will also allow us to make things that we couldn't make before. So at some point in the near future, I'm going to be driving down to North Carolina so that I can pick those up. I need to make the rest of the money, of course. So anyways, I'm going to go and show you these real quick. These are going to debut either tonight or tomorrow on the website. And the reason why we're doing it that way instead of as Destash lots for the paintings is because they're much larger and it's a little bit more of a headache when it comes to figuring out the shipping and stuff. And so anyway, that it's a bigger job to do that. So I'm going to show you the previews of those today. I don't know if I have prices for everything, but I am. You will see them, and then they'll go live either tonight or tomorrow. All right. So I'm going to actually, I'm not going to turn the camera on because the paintings are so big that I'm going to hold them up. And hopefully this will work. I don't know. So let's do a blast from the past. So a couple years ago, I had another fundraiser called the Creative Heart Fundraiser, which was successful. And we bought out, one of my friends was closing up their bead shop, and we bought out some of their inventory. But I do have some of these paintings left over, and I thought that I would put them up again. So these, I don't know if this is actually going to work or not. Let me see if I can do the camera. There's like a front camera. I guess that's it. All right. So this is just a preview anyway. So if you want a better look, so this painting will go up. I made this back in 2016. I can't even believe it. But this one, it will be added to the website either tonight or tomorrow. I sold a bunch of these, and then I took them off the website. And then there's this one. This was also made in 2016. Susan Surreal says, I remember this one. Thanks. Yeah, I really like these. You can tell that I was so I took old paintings and I collaged them together and chopped them up, and then I added different layers on top. And so one of them was purchased by a curator at the museum in Texas. So that's pretty cool. And so these ones, I really love this dot pattern. And so you see that reoccurring in my work even now. In some ways, it almost looks beaded, which should not come as a surprise. So these ones from 2016 will be debuting in the website. That's allegorygallery.com, either tonight or tomorrow. It just depends when William gets back from his pottery class, what the deal is for that. And then, yeah, so keep an eye on that. I have more of paintings to show, so I'm going to get up and move around. So normally I don't like to move around a lot, but anyways. Now, this piece, I don't think anybody has seen this piece except for people from the college time. But this is an older piece, and that will go in there. I did some things where you can see kind of the shiny is underneath it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but They're things with like layers of resin and then layered on top. So that's one of the pieces that's going to be going online. And like I said, the sales of these paintings will help fund our it will help fund our tool acquisition. And if we make more than what we need, then I'm gonna put that towards either getting more tools because they're giving us a great price, or we're gonna put that and slide it over to our Star Cottage Studio fundraiser that we're doing later at the end of the month, so that we can get the exterior fixed up. Yesterday, I did some cleanup in the yard over at Star Cottage Studio, and I had a fire and burnt a lot of the garbage that had built up. Now, this is a piece that I had made to be made into prints. So some of you all may have prints of this. We did them on this special metallic paper. We got this fancy printer that does archival prints, and then now it's not working. So I'm kind of upset about that because it was not an inexpensive printer, and it stopped working. So we're gonna have to take that archival printer and take that in to get it serviced somehow, or I don't know what's up. But this one is all collaged with different pieces. It's on board, and then I painted on top of it. And there's lots of metallics in there, so not ideal for printmaking, but I get bewitched by the sparkles. So that one is also going online tonight or tomorrow. It is a bigger one. I'll have to do measurements on that. And then I did some paintings. This is one of them, one of the smaller ones. This one, if you're on our Patreon, you may recognize. So this one will also go into the online store, and that will help us also get some tools. And hopefully, if these sell well, then I'll be able to get fix up the siding and put the paint on the cottage. But for now, I want to do the tools. That's going to be our main priority. This one is also one of the ones that debuted in the Patreon. And yeah. I don't actually know where the camera is sometimes, so that should be fun and exciting. So this one is also going to be put in the online store tonight or tomorrow. That's allegorygallery.com. So keep an eye out for that. And then up next is this one. For people who are on our Patreon, this is probably old news. But this is the first time that I've been parting with them. I was saving them for a special occasion, and I didn't know what it would be. And here you go. So this one will also launch tonight or tomorrow, on the Allegory Gallery website. And then also, so this is kind of the sneak peek of those. And these are all painting on wood panel. So there's a wood panel, the cradle board. And this one's called Stargazer. You can see I brought that one pattern back. So those will all debut soon. And then the last of the big paintings this one. Now, if you're on the Patreon and you didn't see the post today, I redid the background on this one because I did not like there you go. And so I redid the background on this one because it was kind of a stark background, and I had this bird and it was painted almost like an apparition, and I was like, it kind of looks like I didn't finish painting it, not so much like a ghost bird, but more like I didn't finish my job kind of bird. So I finished this, and I'm really happy with the way that turned out because in the background it was like a seascape, and it was all blue and blue, and I think these warmer colors really help. So, anyways, so I made those for the Patreon, and yeah, hopefully you all enjoy those. I don't know if we're gonna do prints of those or not. So we'll see. Yeah, I think I did a good job. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera around and we're going to take a look at a couple more things. Let me clear this area real quick. And yeah. All right, so I feel a little bit discombobulated, but we're just going to roll with it, y'all. All right. So you're going to see the ceiling for a second. All right. So the first thing I want to show you before I get too far ahead is I've got this. This is going to be this month. It's going to be August ACEO card. If you didn't see, this was July's. The hand with a heart. Now these all look relatively the same. They're not exactly the same. Each one is a little bit different, but this is what they basically look like. So you have this background, which is an ombre from this kind of dark red to this orange color. And then you have this phoenix on top that has a pattern. And this is slightly iridescent in parts of it. The camera doesn't really pick it up. I might hit them real quick before with a little bit more iridescence, but there are not as many. I did not make as many as I did that first time because I made like 50 the first time or 30, I don't know, 40, I can't remember. And we have a stack of them still available. So I made less of them this time, just so that it takes time to make everything. So, and if it's just going to hang out at the cottage, then I'd rather put that time into something else. So I made fewer of them this time, but these will also debut sometime probably tonight or tomorrow. And this is a part of I'm hoping to do one a month, so that people who want to get small scale artwork can get some small scale artwork. And yeah, so that is the one. And their edition of 16. Actually, probably 15 because I'm going to keep one. I want to have like my own thing. I don't know, my own collector case. And then they come in these cute protective sleeves that are they're designed for baseball cards, and so baseball cards to make them collectible, they have to be the case has to be super durable and also has to be acid free. So these cases are archival. I don't know what's going to be next month. We'll see. I might make a special one for the Star Cottage Studio fundraiser, but they're a little bit dimensional because they're done on Bristol board, and then I use the laser to help cut out the paintings or the collage parts. And so that's how I make those. So they are a little bit more dimensional. So I think those are fun. Anyways, this one was the July, and then this is the August. And the August one will debut either tonight or tomorrow. All right. Marion says, I might need a phoenix. Teresa Ramsell says, oh my, it's my bird of choice. Oh, good. I think it's a good symbol. It's like I've been feeling the phoenix energy lately, that rebirth and renewal, and to kind of overcome obstacles and have something new and bright and rise from the ashes. I've been feeling like the pandemic is so hard on a lot of people. And so I just want that kind of renewal and regrowth and coming out from the other side, stronger and better for having survived that. And so I don't know. That's been coming up. It's a symbol that's been coming up in my artwork a lot lately. I've always loved them, but lately I've noticed that they've been making an appearance a lot lately. So I thought it might be fitting to have that as one of the ACEO cards for August. All right. Teresa says, I love the July one. Oh, good. I'm glad people like them. All right. So let's get into the lot. So we left off at 60, and we're just going to go right into it. So that was 80. This will be 8061. And the first up is this. And this is 8061. Where's the penny? All right. I need to get that penny, that lucky penny, y'all. All right. So I made this as a sample for a kit that we made to make these little books for a artist trading cards. And so you'll get one of these little books. I have the covers for a couple different ones. And this is one of them where I showed how, I don't know if I showed how to do this one, but I painted that. And you can put it on a chain and wear it like a necklace if you want to be really fancy. And then you can have there's little artist trading cards in here. And so this is kind of like a pendant book. Yeah, it's on these little clips, these rings, so that if you need to take them apart, you can take them apart and it's not like forever. Because I had one of my friends made kind of a version of this, and hers, she soldered her ring shut. So, I mean, that it's done then, that's what it is now. With this, if you want to take pages out, you can take pages out. You can swap with people, and it's not like a big headache. I mean, it's not super, super easy, like, especially if you're like going to do it on the fly. It's not like it's like a case or something, which is a good idea that just popped into my head. But anyway, so this is going to be AD 61 and is $35. All right. This is going to be a D62. And this one's also 35. Now, this is one of the ones where I took, oh my, how am I going to do this? I took the back part off to do this. So the one that when you get it, it will come with the rings and the back plate and the artist trading cards, but I couldn't find those. So this one is just the cover, but when you get it, if you order this one, you'll get this cover, but you'll also get the rings and the back plate and some artist trading cards. So you'll get it like the other one, but I wanted to show this off because it's pretty cool. And I didn't want it to abandon this one. So for this one, it's epoxy clay. And my friend Christy Friesen, she shares this technique. And then, of course, I embellished it and made it my own. And so there's some really cool vintage. Those are probably antique cabochons, faux opal cabochons. This is all turquoise, and I love how this little turquoise chip is a little heart. Y'all see that? That just happened by happy accident. And then there's some check glass nail heads. And so even if you don't want to use it as a little book, this is still a small scale piece of artwork. So you could frame this up or hang it and put a little chain here and then hang it from a nail. Easy peasy to do that. So it doesn't have to be like a little book. It can be if you want it, but this is basically a small scale kind of a mixed media piece. So this is 8062. Now, if you're interested in claiming anything, to purchase from this video, take down each of the lot numbers and send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. So that's how you claim most of the things in our videos, unless we have other descriptions of how to do that. But today, if you're interested in these pieces with lot numbers, take down that and send it to us in an email. All right, info@allegorygallery.com. For those of you who got stuff yesterday, thank you so much. For those of you who liked and shared our posts yesterday, thank you also. I know sometimes it's not easy to always participate in all of our fundraisers because it seems like we have a fundraiser for something or another every other week. Like I still have a fundraiser for Touchstone going on my Instagram, and that's happening still. So if you want to contribute to their scholarship fund and making it possible for other people to take workshops there, that's going live on my Instagram page. Should be on at the tippy top of that, and my Instagram is Andrew Thornton Artist. I set the goal at 100, and we're currently at $20. So, we still have a lot to do to make up the difference. But anyway, so this one is the sample that I showed, and it's polymer clay that I did almost like a faux porcelain technique. And I think that's pretty cool. I like it. Anyway, so this one is 8063. And if you don't want to use this as a little book, you can always hang this up and have it as a little artwork. You have to be a little bit careful because the polymer is not indestructible, but I think it's pretty cool. And it's held up really well. So, anyways, This is AD63 and is $24. Facebook user says, I love this as a book. So beautiful. Thanks. This one's a little bit more because it took a lot longer. This is AD 64. And let me do this at. I'll put this on discount because otherwise it took a long time to do this. This is all beads. It's a bead painting basically. And yeah, so all of these are stitched onto canvas, and then the canvas is mounted to the board. This is AD64, and I have it at $100. And yeah, so that did you all see? I have a piece that's similar to this. It's at the Museum of Beadwork in Maine. That opened, I think, last week, maybe the week before. I think it was last week. So that's new. I want to go up there and see everything. So when things kind of quiet down, we're gonna hopefully make our way up there. Hopefully before it gets too cold because it gets a little bit chillier up there. So one of my friends, they are from the south, and they they went to take a workshop up in that region, and I don't think they realized that it still gets pretty cold. And so they were like, I was freezing for 2 weeks, shivering nonstop. And I guess they took the bedding off of their bed and like wrapped them, swaddled their whole bodies with that, and like went to the dining hall and stuff wearing the blanket like a poncho. But it is what it is. And even if it's in summertime, you never know. Even here, it gets chilly sometimes in the summer, and you're like, I thought it's summertime. But you never know because sometimes it's like super, super duper warm and muggy. And then sometimes it's like, low 60s. And if you're not used to that, that can be kind of startling. Anyway, so this is AD64, and I have it listed for $100. So if you're interested in this piece or any of the other lots that we have listed tonight, you can send us an email at info@alderweargallery.com. All right. This is AD65, and is $30. And what's this one? And this one is another little book that we put together. Michelle said that is something I have never seen before. Just amazing. Oh, the painting embroidery. Yeah, I don't know. There are a bunch of artists that I really like who do similar-ish things, like Betsy Youngquist, but she glues her pieces down, and that's all stitched. I'm trying to think of who is a bead artist who does that. Kinga kind of makes stuff like that, but hers is more like around a cabochon. So I don't know if there's anybody who paints with beads like that I can think of off the top of my head. Um, there are some people on Instagram who do bead tapestry and bead embroidery type things like that. If I can find it, I'll share it. But it's not something that you see a lot of, I don't think. For me, I don't really do a ton of bead embroidery, to be honest, but I do painting. And so it's kind of like painting with beads. Um, and so I have one that's almost finished, and I should just finish it because it's almost finished. But yeah. Marion says, does Hannah Rossner stitch or glue hers? with her beadwork is usually stitched, but I don't think she does tapestry or like paintings like that. But I could be wrong. Um, so I don't know. I'll have to look at her work and see or ask her. Um, Michelle said, I see a lot of glued, but not stitched. Yeah, I don't really see a ton of that either. Um, so I would love to do more of it. I just have not had as much time as I would like. I know there are some incredible, incredible pieces that are up at the Museum of Beadwork. And if you're into that, it's definitely like a treat because there's a lot of goodies. Anyways, this is AD 65 and it's $30 for this little book pendant. And so I collaged this on top, and then we added some like glitter and some paint and stuff. So you can use it as a book, or like I said, you can take the rings off and turn this into a little painting or hang it as like a little painting. So it's kind of like one of my small scale artwork. I do like this size. It's very satisfying, this size. Even though they're small, you can get a lot of information into them. So, I like to do the bigger paintings, but they take so much longer. Well, actually, that's not true because sometimes the smaller paintings, I tried to do some miniature portraiture, which was like this big. And let me tell you, that took almost as long as my big paintings. I did this mermaid on a crescent moon thing, and I was like, "What the heck am I doing? This is not." I was like, "I don't have any optimizer on. I don't have a microscope. This is a mess." So, anyways, I'm not doing that anymore. Um, and so this is lot 8065, and it's $30. All right. Up next is this. This is AD 66. And we're going to do it at $60. Now, this is a composite turquoise with bronze in the in between parts. And originally I had this marked as 85. This is sterling silver. I bezel set this composite green turquoise and set that as it. And it was originally $85. And yeah, there you go. I would say I would get closer, but I won't have any room underneath the camera. I'd be like, I'm trying to slip stuff under. But anyways, I love this star and moon combination station. So that's 8066. Let me get the next one on deck, 8067. I'm really in the mood to set some stones. I just need to get a chance to do that. All right. I had set aside some things. All right. And so this one, let's do this one for $6. So this is AD 67 and it's for $6. And this is the laser cut acrylic. And I made this from one of my original drawings. And we cut it out on the laser in acrylic. So it's pretty sturdy. I only have one of these right now. But if people want more of these for Halloween, I may make more. I was thinking of making these into earrings. So we'll see. But for this fundraiser, I was looking around and I have these. These ones are I can't zoom in on this. All right, this is AD 67 for $6. All right, I'm gonna do. Let's move on to AD 68. Let's do this for $12. All right, so this is AD 68, and I'm going to try not to get fingerprints all over it, but it's for this great big Swarovski crystal, or S-word crystal, and let's see how big it is. It's approximately, oh boy, I don't want to scratch the crystal. It's approximately 30 by, looks like 46, 30 by 46. So this is Golden Shadow is the color. I don't think they make these anymore like those, but AD 68. I know that they don't make them anymore for DIY sector, which is why we're calling them S-word crystal. So there you go. And I'll leave that while I get the next one on deck. So this is going to be AD 69, and we're going to do this for $32. I'm going to put this up here. All right, and this is a hollow bead. This is from Harold Williams Cooney, who, if you don't know his work, I don't know how regularly he makes lampwork glass beads anymore, but he did this project where he was making trade beads for each state. And I think those are really lovely. I think these are just luminous little creations of loveliness. This is AD 69 for $32 only. I would be surprised if you can still get these anywhere else. I have a stash of these. I have a little bit of an obsession with them, so I have quite a few of his pieces. Now, talk about Harold Williams Cooney's beads. This is going to be AD 70. Whoops. Let me put that up there. And this one is a big, beautiful. Look at this one. This is one of his big focal beads, and that's glass, y'all. He has that beautiful finish, that matte finish. And these are hollow, so they're extremely lightweight. This one is set up like a pendant, but or just to hang with this sterling wire and some lampwork accent beads. Like that's an artisan bead. I can't remember who made that. I think Blue Heron maybe, and then some Hill Tribe silver. That really is not the thing. This one is a collector item here. That's the Harold Williams Cooney bead. And that one is 120. Normally those are way more, but you're getting a deal because we're destashing and clearing out some of these. But these are like, I mean, if you are like a casual beater, this is probably, I don't know. I wouldn't say that you shouldn't get this, but this is definitely somebody who is into collecting beads and having like a collection of beads as like, you know, there's those books like 500 glass beads and The Lark publishing company used to make those books, and I love those books. And that is what this is. This is like a collector item bead. So that, sometimes beads, people don't, they're like, oh, I'm going to get that and I'm going to use that for this project. This is kind of like a stamp collector who, I mean, you could make something with this, but I'm going to, if I wasn't parting with this, this would go in a case that I displayed on my wall, which I have a few of those kind of situated like that. So anyways, that's 8070 and is 120 for that large Harold Williams Cooney bead. All right, let me get 8071. And this one is going to be 96. And this is another large Harold Cooney or Harold Williams Cooney bead, HWC as he's referred to. This is another hollow form bead. This is a large, beautiful bead. I believe it's borosilicate glass, so it's a little bit of a harder glass. And I love that finish that he gets on them. They've got this kind of satiny matte finish to them, semi-matte finish. And so it really brings out the patterns on the beads. Like sometimes when you have a glass object or enamel, the reflective quality, that shininess can take away from a pattern. But this is really beautiful work that he's done. And if I don't sell those, I'm not going to be too upset about it because they'll go back into my collection and I won't have a problem with that. I will do have some figuring. All right. So this is another large Harold Williams Cooney bead. And it's this one. And I love this one. This one reminds me of have you ever heard of paper marbling? I did a couple books. I took a couple bookmaking classes, and the end papers, we had to make our own end papers. And so you take water and then you make this like oil solution, and then you put the dye or the paint on it. And then you take these fine pieces of metal and you kind of make designs through there by dragging them through the water. And so this is a handcrafted lamprey glass bead by Harold Williams Cooney. And let me show you the back. Both sides are good. But this is one of the large ones. I know this is not a cheap date, but it's definitely a beautiful collector's item. And for those who know, they know. These are incredibly difficult to come by. So I hope people will take advantage of them if they want. All right, let's change things up. So let's do AD 73. And this one is it's one that's from my personal collection. And it's this really cool rutilated quartz. So this is a pendant. It's super clear. Let me see if I have something that I can put in the back so you can see that gold. Sometimes I call this angel hair quartz because it's got these fine rutilations, which are the quartz, and then that gold in the quartz. So, and then the quartz helps magnify it, which is pretty cool. So this is AD73 and it's $32. I believe I got this from DVH Designs in Tucson, Arizona, but I could be wrong. All right. Let me do. All right. So up next is this jade pendant. And this is not like a fancy jade where you're like, oh, you can do this, cut a hair with it. But it's also not like a bootleg one either. So this is 8074. And that's a piece of jade. This is going to be 8075, and it's a slice of amethyst that has a little bale. Let me zoom in on that for you all so you can see it. Now these slices, they're from Uruguay. And I met some of the people who are the miners, and they come to Tucson every year. And I got a whole bunch of these. I just love them so much. And this is like the last one. So that's 8075, only $8. All right. And up next is Susan says I have a ring similar to this. Oh, good. Yeah. This is, I'm going to put that off to the side, AD 76, and is a full strand of these carnelian pebbles. And they're tumbled, they're faceted, but then they're tumbled. So they're not super sharp. They've got that kind of beautiful tumbled, smoothed down, so there's not a lot of sharp edges. So that's a full strain of that. I only have one of these available. So if you want that, that's AD76. If you're interested in claiming, if you're just tuning in and you're like, how do I get these things? If you are interested in them, just send us an email at info@allegorygallery.com and we'll hook you up. We'll send you an invoice. And also, this is a reminder that if you've moved or you're on the road or for some reason there's a change in your shipping address, please, please, please let us know. As I mentioned earlier in this video, we've been having some issues with shipping. It's not necessarily anything that's internal that's happening that's a problem, but if you are having if you would like to expedite the process of getting your package to you, and you're a new customer to us or one that you haven't placed an order for a while and you have a new address, please send us that new address. You can send that to info@allegorygallery.com with your claimed lots. And then that way, if you're in Pennsylvania, we can charge you sales tax and we can also figure out shipping for your pieces. I hate to sound like a broken record, but I know sometimes people just tune in and they don't know what's up. So that's what's up. And yeah, so make sure to send us that. And also send us an email address. Well, I guess it's from your email, so you don't necessarily have to do that. But if you have an email address that you prefer that's different for your for your Square, we send Square loan or Square invoices. If you have an address that's different, please send us that as well, an email address that's different from the account. Because even I don't use my personal email account when I buy stuff for the store. So I always have to tell people to invoice us at our store email address because that's where the bills get. You know, it's a separate account than my personal stuff. So I know what it's like. So hopefully you all don't get too offended by me harping on that. But yeah. All right. So this is a thing of carnelian. I am guessing by the intensity of the color that it was heat treated. That doesn't mean anything bad. Now, I know sometimes people are like, oh, I can't abide by heat treated. But you know what? They take a clay oven and they stick the rocks in the clay oven and they bake it. So, heat treated sounds like super fancy, but literally it's like a clay pot that they stick in the fire. So it's not like they're like dousing it in chemicals and then setting off a nuclear bomb to get that color. They're just enhancing it by putting a little bit of heat on it. And that brings out some of those richer, more vibrant oranges. One of these days, I'm going to have a screening party. There's this wonderful series that came out several years ago, and it's called World on a String. And they travel all around and document the different processes, which I think is so fascinating. And I hope that I can do that one day. But anyway, so one of the things they did is they went to this market and they showed how people were making heat treated carnelian. And this is a practice that goes back millennia. I mean, the ancient Egyptians were heat treating their carnelian. And you can find carnelian that's this color. We were in Elephant Butte in New Mexico, and I found some of it on the little beach by the lake there, and it was just that color too. So it's not to say that you can't find that in nature. They just enhance a lot of the other pieces of agate so that it does get that most reddish orange as possible. Whoop. So these are for these like slices. I think these are so fun. And the average size, they're all different because they're kind of organic size, is about 24 by 32-ish, but they're all different. So that's $80.77 for $10 for that strand. All right, now let me see if I have multiples of this one. All right, I do have multiples of this one. All right, I'll show you one strand. I'll get rid of this one. So this is going to be AD78, AD78. And we're going to do this $12 a strand only. And I have two strands available. Of course, you can't actually read that because this marker is kind of chunky. And so this is for a full strand of these drilled donut-shaped carnelian. And this is what the original suggested price was. $48 a strand. And we're selling it for $12 a strand. I have two of these available if you're interested in these ones. So, like I said, if you're interested, send it to us in an email at info@allegorygallery.com. All right. Let me get the next one on deck. I'm moving a little bit slower because William's at his pottery class tonight. AD 79. And this one is going to be $14 for this. All right, so I'm going to put this, I'm going to grab these and take this off screen. And I have a bunch of loose seed beads here, so that's why I'm kind of being ginger with myself, because I don't want to knock down a whole thing of loose seed beads. This is 80.79, and it's for these large blue coral beads. And these ones are big rounds, and they're approximately about 20 millimeters, about. And that's a full strand of that blue coral, and that's AD 79 for $14 for the strand. So I think those are really fun, and I hope people like them. Now I'm trying to see that case. I brought a case in here. All right. So the next one, y'all, don't get horrified. I'm going to zoom up on this. So I have a box of these sapphire corundum stone. These are ruby, and like sapphire is corundum stone. It's a hard stone. So it's polished on this one side, and it's like makes a little bubble on that. And these ones, if you clean it up a little bit with some warm soapy water, they look less like just rocks. But you can kind of see, can you see that cat's eye effect? Can you see that? Maybe I'll put it up. This one's a little bit bigger. So there's a little bit of that cat's eye effect on some of these that make a little star. And oh, this one's a really good one. And so I have a box of these, and I've been basically carrying this box around for all of my life. These are not drilled. These are not drilled. So if you wanted to put these and wire wrap them, that could be cool. If you wanted to do a setting, embrace your inner Laura Lunsford. I probably just ask Laura if she wants to buy these. But I'm going to sell these for $5 a piece. And I think if you want to put these in an amulet bag or something like that, this is 80, and these are $5 each for a ruby corundum. So I don't know if that's a good, let me see if you can see that. All right. So, you know what? I am missing a box that I thought I brought up here, but I don't see it. So instead of making you all suffer with me trying to play seek and find while you're on camera, let me see. Maybe I'll go back on later tonight, and I'll go at the cottage maybe. Or should I just do it tomorrow? Maybe I'll come back tomorrow night, or I don't know. I'm gonna ask William what he thinks I should do. But I have a bunch of stuff, but it's not up here, and it might be at the cottage still. So I have to double check where it is. But I have a bunch of other lots for you all. So we'll continue the AD lots at the very least tomorrow night. But if I can find that box here or at the cottage, we may do some later tonight. So Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed these. I know these are kind of random and they're a little bit all over the place with what's available. But I hope people like them. I think it's been really fun to kind of see what I've got, and it's helped me kind of clear things out. And yeah, so if you like these, let us know. There is our email address is info@allegorygallery.com. And I think let's do this later tonight, maybe 9 o'clock, because I know some other people are on after us in the evening. So let's meet up at 9 o'clock tonight, and I'll have some more lots for you, and I'll try to get them pre-written out so that it's a little bit easier than having to wait for me to write them as we go. I don't have my other half, so things kind of get slow, and then also it's not as funny when he's not here. I need somebody for comedic relief, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, I'll see you later tonight. Let's meet back up at 9 o'clock here, and I'll have more goodies for all of you out there, more D-Stash goodies. And if there's anything that you're looking for, let me know, and I will keep an eye out for them, okay? All right. Have a good night, everyone. I will see you at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right back here on Facebook, YouTube, wherever. All right. See ya.